My girlfriend Leanna was underage when I started dating her and having sex with her.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell. Oh yes, Dspgaming. First video will be, Only Mommy Understands Me, and Swaggins can come back when he fixes his mental problems. Oh God. Oh God. Wonder if he said the same thing to Panda. And the second video is also brought to us by Snort Burnell. Dspgaming, Detractors ruin my polls, and the pre-streams are therapeutic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's carve this up, shall we? This right here comes on the this comes on the new horizon, if you will, a new age in the life and time of DSP after the marriage, of course. Now, I had a long video that came out before this, or at least it should have. It's probably gonna be like 3 or 4 hours. So if you guys are not sure which one it is, it should be right before this one. If it's not out yet, blame me. It's somebody else's fault, but blame me for it that it didn't come out yet. So yeah, there might have been some technical difficulties. I'm under the assumption that at the time you're listening to this, that you've already watched it, if it's out. You know how we do here. Shit'll get worked out. In any case, we are at a new dawn in the life and time of DSP. Darkside Phil, he's gotten married. Our little piggy has grown into a potential hog, if you will, and he's gotten married. And now things are getting a bit rough. The fan base is dwindling, money's coming slow. He needs new releases now more than ever to continue the business. But there's so much betrayal going on and infighting that it's just not really happening. But thank God for Mommy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God for Mommy. The same mother who he told us a couple months ago that he'd like to go see, and she wants him to go see him, but he can't because of his taxes. Thank God that she decided to go ahead and cover the whole trip so he could go. Pay for his wedding, help with the taxes. Thank God for Mommy. And so with that being said, God bless her too, Mother Burnell, the patriarch of the family, if you will, understands her little boy, her potential prince, the king of hate, and all of his faults, all of his shortcomings. It's not her little boy's fault. It's everybody else. It's the world that's messed up. Not Phil Burnell. Phil Burnell never did anything wrong. He told you how it was. He kept it honest with you. The realest guy on YouTube. It's all the detractors, haters, and trolls who are the liars. They're the true haters, the real source of the hate. The hate that Phil Burnell uses to empower himself. He grabs onto that hate and he brings it in, and it makes him a powerful person. And the patriarch, the woman who loves him above all other women, is behind him every step of the way. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that. We're going to hear what Phil Burnell has to say, and I will give you my comments on it as appropriate. Next day is Swaggins, a loyal lap dog, always on the porch looking out for the dangers that could possibly be inflicted onto Burnell Manor, if you will. The Galtopian Palace, if you will. Well, he apparently has been discarded, or he walked away. Some people say it was over the most recent game. It's either Sekiro or Sekiro. You guys know my pronunciation is terrible. Some people say it's over that. Some people say it was over another game that was played months ago. Some people say it's over Phil's betrayal over this marriage. We don't know. To be honest with you, it doesn't really care. It doesn't really matter. He's not around now. And according to some sources, Phil doesn't really care. If Swaggins is gone, he's gone. Fuck him. But if Swaggins just needs some time to get his shit together because he's a mental nutcase, well, fuck him. But when he's ready to come back, he can come back. His wallet better be open and it better be ready to contribute to the cause. In either case, we'll hear what Phil has to say about that also. Oh boy. And Oh, the detractors have ruined his polls. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is part of a much more long-standing story that goes back about a year. About a year. If you guys remember, this is 2018. If you guys remember, Phil Burnell went ahead and did a like a Patron's Choice type situation, and the game that won was Mario Sunshine. Now, Phil said he put it up there knowing that Mario Sunshine was going to win, but he didn't want to actually play the game because he was already playing Mario Odyssey, and he was also playing Mario plus Rabbids, and those were all Nintendo games that at the time he couldn't profit from, and that's why he wasn't in any hurry to play it. That's why he chose to play Spyro, even though he did say he was going to play Mario Sunshine at a later date, which he did, except for the fact that he kept pushing it back again and again and again. Leads one to believe that he was never really going to play it, and he was really going to just set it up to where he could either cherry pick it, or more likely to cherry pick it and try to get these guys to pay him again to play it. Because, you know, he wasn't going to make any money off YouTube, you see. But he was going to make money on stream for it, and it won the poll, which means it won the Patron's Choice or whatever the case may be. So they had already paid for him to play it, not Spyro. But Phil tried to twist it and say, hey, this is a 2-for-1 deal. I'm going out of my way. I'm doing extra for you guys. So you guys should appreciate me, shut the fuck up, and just take what I give you. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for me being a slight bit unprofessional with all that. In any case, the detractors stepped in and were like, hey, hold him to the fire on this. Put the boot to his neck and put pressure on it all night and keep applying. Because if not, he's going to rip you guys off. And a few people over there listened, and they continued to put the pressure on him. He got mad about it. He went ahead and started squealing like all good pigs do under pressure. And he eventually broke down and finally did it. But one of the reasons why he was pissed off was the fact that he said that the detractors screwed him over from the beginning. It was their fault that Mario Sunshine was picked, knowing that he couldn't make any money off of it, knowing that his business was hurting, knowing that his business was in jeopardy, that the detractors screwed him over on this situation by violating the polls. It's no different here with this one, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be an interesting journey, a bit of a flashback, and this pre-stream is being therapeutic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've already talked to you about this. The pre-streams are going to get longer, and slowly but surely, the videos are going to get shorter. Isn't Mortal Kombat 11 like right around the corner, or maybe at the time that you guys are listening to this, it's already been played or being played? It's only going to be a matter of time before demonetization comes in. If you guys have watched any of the trailers, the fatalities are getting more and more nutty, but they're also getting more and more explicit. So I would assume that some videos are going to catch a hit on demonetization. I think the last one, Mortal Kombat 10, caught some of that too. So with that being said, it wouldn't be a surprise if Phil takes a hit. Now, as you guys know, Phil does longer videos. It's very possible that Phil will take the risk eventually and go to shorter videos, especially when he starts to play online, if he's ever going to do that, which he will. He'll just milk story mode for everything it's worth. But he'll start going ahead and using his online matches and just breaking them up. Let me explain. It is easier for Phil to break them up into each individual match and throw them all up online, 20, 25 matches in a day, and lose 7 or 8 of them to demonetization and keep the rest. And Phil, if you're listening, you know what I'm saying is right. And eventually that's what you're going to end up doing. I don't know if you've complained about demonetization or anything yet, because I'm talking from a future standpoint here, or from a past standpoint. But I would assume I'm not too far off of the mark. We'll see. It's not that I have any real precedents or anything, but that's generally my thought. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Because as you know, this broadcast is going to go out late, because that's what we do right here. In any case, so that's the situation with Mortal Kombat, but as it pertains to pre-streams, because of the fact that he's lost the faith of the Pig Roach cult, he needs to talk to them more and more and more so he can basically instill the indoctrination again. He needs to get them back into position. Because this wedding, though most people are happy about it, a lot of people are taken for a curveball, a lot of people feel like they've been betrayed. They've all certainly been lied to. Phil needs to get the indoctrination back in. The pig psychosis needs to go ahead and be administered, and it needs to take its grip. Because if not, he's going to have greater and greater problems. Now, I also want to pose something. just because the fan base starts to dwindle and because his eventual view counts and sub counts start to dwindle doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Because for Phil, he's always been, at least over the last couple years, as long as I've been doing this, which has only been almost like 2 years, I think, he's always seemed to be a lot more comfortable on the regular with having a much smaller a smaller viewership, I should say, than having a larger one. When the drama and everything's going on and he has to do silly shit like that, he doesn't mind if larger groups of people show up. But for just the everyday shit, he would rather have a much more smaller group because he thinks they're easier to control. If he thinks they're easier to control, that means they're easier to manipulate. So theoretically, that works in his favor because the whales will more than likely be in that pod, if you will. And so it's probably a little bit easier for him to manipulate. So don't ever let him think that, you know, his fan base or his viewership dwindling really hurts him. It doesn't. And it's not just something that's exclusive only to Phil Burnell. It's a lot of streamers actually feel that way, especially a lot of streamers who do what Phil does. So trust me, it has its benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, enough talking on my part. I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know when this is going to come out. It's going to come out late, obviously. I know Mortal Kombat's literally, at the time I'm recording this, is right around the corner. And by the time you guys hear this, he might actually already be playing it. So, my apologies, but that's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how this works. This is the Snort Report. This is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network Productions. You guys all know the slogan, and I don't smell no bacon cooking yet. So that means it's time for me to get to work.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Oh, just in case you guys didn't know, this is actual footage of Phil and Kat on their honeymoon. Sweet, isn't it?
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
I beat the fuck.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, yet again, we are here with Snort Burnell, Dspgaming. Only mommy understands me, and Swaggins can come back once he fixes his mental problems. Here we go.
Final boss of Sekiro in 15 minutes. So you can imagine that completely threw my schedule for a loop. I was like, wow. After all the build-up and what everyone told me was going to take forever, I pretty much beat him easily. No, dude, that guy was cheating. There's no way. He's cheating. Thrown completely? No way, dude. No, dude, he's cheating. That's 100% cheating. There's no way. That's a fucking cheater, dude. That's a cheater. I didn't even beat it, legit. I didn't. I cheated to beat it. Because I couldn't fucking beat it. I was so angry.
The Honest Troll cheered. He says, finished your podcast. My podcast was from Sunday, by the way. It covered my entire Connecticut trip. He said, great to know that your mom was able to talk some sense into you regarding...
Oh, yeah. Real quick. So, the whole thing about being that boss that Phil's been boasting about for a little while now is he feels like for whatever strange reason, he believes that he beat the final boss in the fastest time possible, which he, not even close, but he believes that, even though people had beaten the game like day 2, like day 3, while Phil was still struggling in like the first couple of areas. People had already beaten the boss, people were already speed running, and people were already going for, not only were world records already established, but there were already tiers and teams of people trying to beat those world records. So, no, Phil, you didn't beat anything in any specified time that makes you relevant. Sorry, take your 4th place finish and deal with it. Live with it. Because that's all that's there for you. Dspnews.
Your finances and the like. But this is things that fans and detractors alike have been telling you for months, and most of the time you shot them down. The difference here, the honest troll, and this will be very, very honest with you, is my mom fully 100% understands my full perspective of everything, because I tell her everything behind the scenes, including my personal life and everything. And she basically, you know, we had a long, drawn-out 2+ hour conversation about all of this that allowed me to kind of understand, okay, with how things are currently, this makes sense. Versus someone randomly cheering on a random stream, hey, Phil, you should stop being a full-time streamer and get a job. That's completely different. That's not even in the same realm.
Yes, they get a job.
How do you figure? How do you figure that someone who's watched you for months on end, if not years, who have gone through and listened to all of your begging segments, pre-streams, therapeutic, who sees the obvious problems in not just your lifestyle, in your income, in your relationship, and everything else, what makes you think what they have to say is any more or less invalid than any more or less invalid than what something that your mother said? When your mother only mirrored what that individual said. You may have not have liked the delivery, but the message was still the same. So how does that work exactly? If anything else, the only reason why you accepted what your mother had to say is because you've already heard it from people in your own fan base, from the detractors, trolls, and haters, and on Kiwi farms. And probably Encyclopedia Dramatica if you're over there too. So, to be honest with you, you were prepped and already had a predisposition to what your mother already told you. You already knew it. You just wanted, I guess, mom to tell you that so mom would cough up her money. To be honest with you, because it seems to me, and like I said, my last video, if it's out at this point, which is, I'm sure it's ridiculously long, went over the fact that the only reason why you coughed up, you were willing to comply to all of your mother and father's demands, is because you wanted their money. They were going to give you the money regardless, but you had to at least play ball. So your mother's word, I mean, granted, she's your mother, you know, so on and so forth. Don't get me completely wrong. I'm not trying to be insensitive about it, at least not completely. But I'm not trying to say your mother's word doesn't hold any more or any less value, but you had heard all of that prior to her. So you already knew. She didn't say anything to you that you didn't already know. So using your mother as the crutch is yet again a bit unfair and certainly dishonest. Just my opinion.
Oh my god, here we go, moron. I have a job, it's much better than yours. Stupid. You got fucked up.
DSP, get a job.
Yeah, there you go.
Buddy. Shout out.
Shout out to getting muted, dumb shit. The hilarious part about morons who say stuff in the stream chat like, or you can get a job, which is what that guy just said and just got permanently banned. This job pays more than any job I've ever had in my entire life, including when I had a full-time office job for 5 years. I still make more doing this job than that. That's just complete ignorant children who say stuff.
No, you make more money begging than actually playing video games. That's what the case is. And yet again, it goes back to what I said. He didn't like how other people said it to him. He didn't like the delivery. The message was still the same, outside of the ulterior motives that he had saying that to his mom. And even then, he more than likely skewed what he said to her. But that's pulling at pigtails at this point.
Shit like that. They don't seem to understand.
And it's hilarious that someone would think that that's exactly the same thing, because it's not. And you should just stop trying to, because what it is, well, I told Phil 8 months ago that I don't think that he could be a full-time streamer and he should go get a job. So, obviously, I was right all along. We know what's going to win. The troll answer wins. The troll answer always wins. Oh, yeah. No, you weren't. In fact, you're completely wrong, because I can't even do that right now anyway. But that's what people do, is they, oh, well now, because Phil had a talk with his mom.
But how does that make that wrong? How does that make them wrong? You still need to get a full-time job, or you still need to get a job in general. Whether it's now or later, you still need to do it, and you know that. So that person isn't wrong at all. What you do doesn't bring enough for you to cover your bills. So you're going to continue begging, to my understanding, for the next 10 years until you think you can jump into a field that's not even your field anymore. You don't even know if that field will even be there to the at its current iteration, which you don't even know what the field's like now because you haven't been in it for a decade. So you're going to be 2 decades behind. You're literally going to be a relic when you try to go back into the business field because you have no idea what's going on in 20 years. You think you're going to go in at entry level? They'll more than likely just throw you into the mailroom. At least that's what I would do. Even he can't fuck that up.
That in the long term.
I mean, unless he had like PTSD from all the trolls sending mail to him.
That he probably can't stream for the rest of his life full time. That I was right all along. No, you weren't. Not at all. You were not even close to saying the same exact thing.
It's salty as fuck. It's like pure salt. All you could taste was salt. You couldn't taste anything else.
So, you can stop trying to pat yourself on the back and stroke your e-dick, because you had nothing whatsoever to do with that process at all. Like I said, it was a completely different thing where my mom and I talked all about all the different facets of my life and my marriage with Kat and our lives moving forward and everything. And, you know, I kind of came to a realization over time based on factors. All right? Not based on someone sending me a random cheer somewhere or, you know, saying something.
But that doesn't make any difference either which way either. Because just because you married Kat didn't mean that you had an epiphany on, oh, well, I really can't do this anymore the way I'm doing it. I need to change. It was like that when she moved in. It was like that when she was at soulmate status. It was like that when she was your hidden, dirty little secret girl, little hidden, dirty secret. The circumstances didn't change that much for you to come to the realization that you're at right now. At the end of the day, Phil Burnell couldn't keep doing this the way he's been doing it. He should have stopped that. He should have stopped what he was doing 2 years ago. Maybe even 3, and gotten a part-time job. That's what he should have done. And he could have still had his little streaming, and he would have still had his pay piggies. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to have it easy, and he was willing to bleed other people to make sure he could do that. Brightside Viking, Panda, add people to the list. Now, he needs this money from mommy, which she coughed up, and he has what he needs. And he's going to prolong what she told him to do until essentially, if I had to guess, and it's going to sound egregious, until she dies out. And then he can cash out. It is what it is. And because he's telling, he allegedly tells his mother every fashion of his life, or yeah, every facet of his life, I should say. He controls the narrative. He doesn't control the narrative on YouTube and Twitch, because we've all heard it. We've all heard the lie. We've all heard the lie. We've all heard the lies. 1, 2, 3 to 500, and then we've heard snidbits of the truth, and people put it together. His mother has only heard one constructed story to appease her. If I had to guess, Phil Burnell's mother is a lot like Phil in a lot of ways. She only wanted to hear what she wanted to hear. And that's exactly what Phil gave her. Phil knew what she wanted to hear, and that's exactly what he gave her. And nothing else. And since that's her only child, at least that we know of, I mean, what else did she really have to lose?
Chat. So, no. Sorry, not the same. Stop that. Okay. Last Rambo cheer. He says, I know you stopped playing VR games, but I miss your playthroughs of them because they break the bold. I think you might say break the mold. Why not make a Patreon goal for it, since it'll be paid for, and not worry too much on Twitch interaction? Well, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, because I'm going to be very honest with you, no one really is going to be pledging to Patreon to hit goals anymore.
Oh my god, this shocks me.
And I realized this, you know, last year, when I basically integrated all my stuff and changed it from Patreon to Twitch-based goals every month, that there's very little I'm going to be able to do to motivate anyone to pledge to Patreon anymore. Besides...
That's not true. He wouldn't, what he needed to do, and I've said this before, Patreon has always been attached to YouTube. When he basically cut YouTube down to an archive site, he basically gave Patreon up. He needed to try to keep some, maybe focus, but he certainly needed to keep the confidence of the average YouTube viewer that, hey, I appreciate you guys, you know, watching an ad, watching the videos, but please continue to support Patreon. That's what he needed to say. But he wouldn't do it. He wanted the quick dimes and nickels and quarters that were coming on Twitch, and he kind of let Patreon go by the wayside. Like, at current, at least at the time that I'm recording this, what's Patreon at? It's like between $600 and $800. Like, it's been dwindling for a while, yeah, but it's because he won't he wouldn't allow himself to work an extra 2 minutes to continue to indoctrinate the YouTube fan base into, hey, you know, for you guys who can't come to my streams, no problem. For you guys who can't come and donate and so on and so forth, no problem. Thank you for supporting the videos. Thank you for supporting this archive channel in air quotes. If you guys want to support me further, go to my Patreon. Links in the description. I very much appreciate it. And he can do that at the beginning of every video that he cuts, essentially, because he's only putting up, what, 3 or 4 of them a day, and then pre-stream. And there you go. That right there is the constant reminder that, hey, for all of you who are watching me on YouTube, support the Patreon. He wouldn't do that, or he's too stupid to do it, or whatever. And that's why Patreon fell. He's literally following the same path that Spoonie is, kinda.
People who just want to help on a monthly basis, or maybe get some of the perks, doing events based on Patreon just will not work anymore. They just won't. If I was an on-demand content creator for YouTube, they would. But I'm a live streamer. My livelihood is based on Twitch interaction. That's what I focus on. So now saying, oh, I'm going to do an event randomly that has nothing to do with Twitch interaction, it's not going to work. It's going to fail.
Okay, well, that proves my point. If this is, excuse me, if what he does is based off Twitch interaction, his words, not mine, then where does gameplay become the actual factor in all of that? What is the primary focus? What is the actual draw? Is the draw you coming out there and watching him play these games, or are you guys there for the interaction? Someone needs to pick, because either which way, it's failing. If he plays a new game, he can only hold the interest for so long. If it's for interaction, the interaction isn't shit because he's not making really crazy money off it. He's just chasing dimes and nickels until someone comes in and tries to be a whale, or at least a big fish, and throw 25 or 50 bucks at him. So you have to choose. And if it's going to be strictly about interaction, then to be honest with you, Phil, you don't need the gaming aspect of it. You should only play like 2 hours of games and then have it 2 hours of in IRL, where you guys are basically just talking. Break the segment up. You can't sit there and use the pre-stream as the pretense to be like, oh, I'm updating you guys on my schedule, I'm telling you guys what's going on for the week, I'm letting you guys know about my situation, then I do interaction and shoutouts, and then we get into the gameplay. Even though the majority of the videos on Dspgaming is basically him responding to cheers and stuff like that, which is killing the actual game videos themselves, the gameplay videos themselves, sorry. You can't have both. If not, you need to restructure it differently. And since you can't multitask, then split it up. Or make the morning stream about games exclusively and whatnot, and then have a small segment at the end where you thank everybody for their shoutouts and their contributions and all that. And at night, keep it IRL, where you're just talking. Gameplay, news, or whatever the situation is, and do that. Because you're wasting your time at night anyway.
No one's going to support it financially on Patreon. That's number one. Number two, that would mean taking a time away from being an interactive streamer, which is what I need to focus on. I need to focus on being the interactive streamer. I'm putting out an interactive product that you guys like, so you'll come back every day. Oh, all of a sudden, randomly, Phil for a week is not going to pay attention to stream chat? That's not going to fly. You know what I mean? It's just not. So, sorry, PSVR games. Let me put it this way. If there were a killer app, if there were a game on PlayStation VR that was so good, that it was a must-play, cannot-miss game. This is the make-or-break game for VR. If you play it, you're going to be blown away by VR and want to play VR all the time. That's never happened. All the games for VR end up being gimmicks. They end up being flash in the pan, a little bit of success here or there. And no one
VR is a gimmick, theoretically. Same thing with a 3D TV. You should know that, Phil.
About them again. The bottom line is I haven't played the PSVR for, now, at this point, 2 years. The last game I played on PSVR...
And another thing is Phil doesn't like the PSVR because it makes his head sweat. I mean, granted, everything makes him sweat, but he doesn't like... It makes him feel uncomfortable. And because, look at how badly he plays games now. Something like VR would just keep him disoriented. Especially with his bad eyesight and his poor sense of equilibrium. And reflexes and everything else to go along with it. It's just going to really make him sick. So, VR is not something that Phil should be doing anyway.
Was Resident Evil 7 in January of 2017. Guess what? No one has cared that I don't do VR. Everyone's like, well, it doesn't matter. You missed nothing. The games for VR are all fluff. They're all stupid. You're right. VR is a gimmick. I said this when VR launched. I said it before VR launched. I said it's a gimmick. It's just like motion controls. It's just like the Kinect. It's just like every other stupid gimmick.
I bought into a gimmick.
Now keep in mind though, everything he just named, he's done. He's played. Every one of them. Every little gimmick that comes out for gaming, he's done. Excuse me. And he's cashed in on it. I mean, so don't be surprised that he's so quick to throw them away by the wayside. Or cast it off, I should say, by the wayside. Because he's done all of it.
Stupid.
That everyone falls for and runs out and buys in the hype of the dumbass gaming media to hype this shit up to pretend like it's important so they can have something to write about. It's a waste of fucking time. Alright? It is. It's a waste of time. Okay? There's no reason to focus on this shit. And to sacrifice...
And wasn't PSVR like $200 or $300 when it first came out? And he bought it like opening day. Or on launch day, if you will. Just saying.
My interactivity with my stream to put on a stupid headset, you know, and walk around, have a sweaty fucking forehead and sweaty eyeballs to play this stupid thing and then feel queasy. It's not worth it. It's a waste of time. It was fun for the 2 months that I did it at launch to mess around with it, and then I decided to become an interactive streamer, and the whole thing just died. I don't need this anymore. It's a dumb gimmick I don't need. You know? It's kind of like the same thing with the Nintendo Labo, you know, last year. I could have dropped, no lie, about $500 to buy all the cardboard shit for the Labo, and I would have sat here on the floor of my fucking office, miserable, trying to build cardboard shit for hours on end, which would have been some of the most boring fucking streams you guys have ever seen in your life. Or I said, I can just skip this stupid gimmick and not do it because it's a waste of everyone's fucking time and I can play games that I enjoy. And guess what?
Keep in mind, though, too, he couldn't actually profit off that Nintendo product this time last year anyway, which makes that $500 investment a bit irrelevant. Now, he might. If the price drops low enough in the games or whatever it is that it does, actually comes out with something a bit more interesting that can create a lot of buzz, he might actually end up picking it up. But then again, he can actually profit off Nintendo games now. Which is actually kind of surprising that he doesn't play more Nintendo games, classic stuff and so on and so forth, at night. Why not? You can now profit off of it, and all of the slower games go over there at night anyway. So you might as well. I don't know. Save point cheese, I guess.
And it worked out fine. You know, the days of me wasting time on this garbage are over.
I've always looked older than I am. And I realize that I am one of the older content creators when it comes to gaming. A lot of people who are doing this for a living are much, much younger than me. I'll be honest, the older I get, the dumber I'm probably.
That's not necessarily true. There is a much older demographic of people who stream on YouTube and Twitch, respectfully, and whatnot, but they actually have talent, and they're entertaining, and they have insight. Phil just doesn't. And whatnot, and Phil just... He's done it for too long. Like, Phil's time has come to pass 4 or 5 years ago, to be honest. He's just beating a dead horse. No pun intended. Sorry about that, cat. He's just beating a dead horse at this point. But there are plenty of older people on Twitch who are entertaining as shit. The times that they stream are kind of inaccurate. Not inaccurate, but inconsistent. But, you know, it is what it is.
Getting. I'm 36 years old now. I just had my birthday. My brain's not what it used to be, guys. My Alzheimer's is kicking in, you know. My nuts are hanging down to my knees, and my Alzheimer's is kicked in. I got to go take my Metamucil later so I can, you know, I can make a bowel movement. So, you know, I'm getting old here. I can't remember things as well, so I apologize that I had a brain fart there. Maybe I'm just an old fart. I am. 37 years old. I'm an old fart. And I have these feelings that are very different from what you guys maybe believe and feel. And what can I say? That's, I guess that's it.
You know, like, there was a time when I was making ridiculous amounts of money on YouTube, and I could afford to buy every stupid accessory and every dumb gimmick, and I would basically rip them all a new asshole. That was great for that era, but that era has passed. I don't have this kind of crazy disposable income to drop on shit. I just don't have money to buy VR games willy-nilly that I'm going to play a couple times and never play again, and no one's going to care about. You know, I don't have money for this shit. And I want to do interactive fun streams of games I enjoy, so the answer is no. Rightboard Marker. Subscribe for 4 months. Just keep doing what you're doing, Phil. Don't let financial issues get you down. At this point, I'm done talking about them. If you haven't noticed, there's no reason for me to talk about them anymore, except you guys keep bringing them up. So the less you bring it up, the less I'll talk about them. We're back to normal. Hodor Targ here. He says, I'm happy for your mom watching your son get married. But every mom also wants grandkids.
But how are we back to normal when his financial issues aren't done? Not, you know, like I said, I'm under the expectation that not all the taxes have been paid, and his income is still dwindling on Twitch and YouTube, respectfully. YouTube more than the other. So, huh? Like, when we say business as usual, he's just going to keep begging to pay his bills. So he can keep the business going. You know what I'm saying? Take your pick. It was, hey guys, I want to keep doing this as a job. Please continue to help the business. Hey guys, I need your help to pay these bills. Hey guys, I need your help to pay these taxes. Hey guys, I need your help not to lose my house. So when we go back to normal, which one of the four are we going back to now? You're obviously taking a step back, but he's still in a bad spot either which way, allegedly. DSP News.
Guess what? Kat and I don't want kids. It's that simple. You know, I'm old. I'm 37 years old. I'm an old, wrinkly grandpa already here. I'm already at the age where I should be drinking prune juice and, you know, wearing Depends. I can't be having
People
kids.
drink prune juice at 40? Holy shit. I didn't know that. Because I work with guys that are like in their 50s and 60s and shit, and they don't, neither one of them drink, well, not neither one of them, but neither group, I should say, drinks prune juice or any of those things. If anything, Phil, they're in better shape than you are. They're in much better shape than you are. And their wives are yummy, to say the very least. Like, they aged extremely well. Anyway, so, yeah, how does that work exactly? I'm confused a little bit on that. Like, not everybody's going to age poorly like you did, Phil, but you didn't take care of yourself. There are people that are, like, got 20 years on you, and they're in better shape than you ever have been. Because they did what they were supposed to do. And it doesn't really matter when you start taking care of yourself. You should try to do it at your youngest point possible. But there are plenty of people that are Phil's age who, you know what, I want to start eating better, I want to start exercising, I want to take better care of myself. And you'd be surprised what 3 or 4 years of motivation will do. Just Phil's too damn lazy. Which is crazy too, because he does nothing to pretend like he does a job, which means nothing. At least to him, anyway. I don't know.
Now, this is nuts. I can barely hold my continence every day. Alright, but no. We have no plans for kids. Alright, we have no plans for kids. Alright, we're up to 498 subs, guys. This is good. This is good. The reason this is good is because we lost a ton of subs in the week I was away. But in the 2 days I've been back, we almost got them all back. Because I believe I was at, like, low 500s when I went on break. So, we've got most of the lost subs back already. And by the way, with all the new content, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 and Days Gone coming up, I get we're going to get a spike. Which will be good, so.
Problems in the back of my head about money. I'm just losing my mind.
I'm so mentally fucked in my head. The Void just tipped me $1 and says you should make a Scrubs sent to ban world counter for people banned that day to discourage detractors. Listen, some people celebrate that stuff. I don't, you know. For me, one of the most successful days would be a day I don't have to ban anybody. A day when everyone just came by and had fun and no one came in to be a dick and insult others or insult me or derail the stream chat or basically try to start drama. You know, a day when we could all just have a nice chill day and no one has to be moderated is probably the best ideal day. I don't know if we'll ever have a day like that, quite frankly, because we know human nature is to just fuck with people.
But you have had days like that. And as by proxy, you didn't make any money those days. And which only gave you an attitude and you shitted up your own streams. So, what you're saying doesn't actually jive to what reality is. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
But, you know, I don't celebrate that stuff.
I'm hypocritical. I'm just going to ban. All right. There's a nice lean-in manual ban for the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he have, like, the tractor memes as his emotes? But I don't celebrate those things. All right.
Santiago-san,
That's what Wings needs to start doing. Because Wings has a bunch of... Because Tevin has brought this up before. Praise be almighty. That Wings has or should have a bunch of slots for custom emotes. He should use a lot of the troll shit that goes his way as that. As for his emotes. People would use them. Or people would certainly pay to use them, I should say.
Ignore people who don't attach money to their messages. But I purposely ignore idiots like you who like to say I do. And then I ban them. Like this. It's a lot of fun to lean forward and do that lean-in ban on assholes like you. Fuck you! Permanent ban! Screw you!
So no, I'm not going to do it. Oh, a counter of how many people were banned today. Because the other thing is, all that's going to do, that's going to incite people to make more troll accounts and say more ridiculous things to get banned, to make the ban counter go up. So, sorry, I'm much smarter than that, and I'm not doing it. Okay? And Adolf...
Actually, you're not smart enough, because you could literally just put it in sub-only mode to force them to sub and then do it. You know what I'm saying? And he's referencing the Low Tier God, too, by the way. Which, I think Low Tier God even has some meme... actually, I don't know. He might. He might have some meme like emotes on YouTube. I'm not sure, though. I have to look. It's been a while since I've watched one of his streams. But even then, he still profited off of it. It's funny how everybody can seem to figure out a way to profit off of their haters, trolls, and detractors, except for Phil. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, keep in mind, all of these individuals don't profit the way that they probably would want to, but they are profiting. They are walking. They're not walking away empty-handed, or in Phil's case, empty-hooved. You know, Phil just goes ahead and essentially does what the haters want him to do, even though he says he's not about that life, or he's smarter than they are and they don't have any real control over him. But every aspect of your life is dictated by a detractor. That's the reason why you do what you do. That's the reason why you're in your little hug box on Twitch. It's the reason why you can't move around the way you want to move around, because you're paranoid. And you're paranoid because of the haters, trolls, and detractors. Just kind of saying.
Adolf. Tip me $1. Is there no chance for you and Swaggins to patch things up? I didn't have a falling out with Swaggins. I had no falling out with Swaggins.
Oh, I really hate you, but I cannot live without you if I try. I can't imagine life without you, ice cream. You're so creamy, and I wish you never ended, ever. I can't imagine if you ended, ice cream. Ice cream, I love you.
Stop being a fucking fanboy. I mean it. You gotta fucking stop, dude. You've got to stop.
Actually, isn't Swaggins into ASMR? I mean, not to say there's anything wrong if you are into that. If you are into that, but I think Swaggins is into that. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if he follows some popular ones on Twitch. I mean, his money would probably go a little further over there anyway. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Someone can ask him. Or whoever it is that replaces him on Phil's porch, they can maybe tell you about it.
Start fucking being a normal person and stop kissing ass, dude. Stop being a drone. Stop being a fucking sheep. Get the fuck out of here. Stop being a drone. Stop being
He took that from Low Tier God, too, because Low Tier God's the one who actually really started that.
Fucking sheep.
Everything is on his end. Everything's been self-contained completely on his end. He never came to me to talk about anything. He just completely went off the rails by himself. So, all his problems are internal. If he ever solves his problems and wants to come back and talk to me and consider, you know, coming back or whatever, that's fine. But everything that's happened is on his side. Like, there's never been, oh, I'm angry at Swaggins, and now I'm, I don't want him to be on the streams or be a mod anymore. I'm not. None of this all happened on his end. So that's what I mean when I hear weird shit about, oh, he's angry at you and stuff. He didn't say a word to me.
Wait, aren't you the one who said that, I can't remember what game you were playing, but Swaggins had made a comment about a game, and you said, hey, Swaggins, you being here is we appreciate what you try to do when you're here and so on and so forth, but if you're going to have that attitude, man, you're not needed. You can leave. You know what I'm saying? You're not, it's not necessary for you to be here if you're going to hold the opinion of games like this, dude. It's really not. Like, if you have something better to do, you can go ahead and do it. Last time, if I remember correctly, because I think I've gone over that video, when you unceremoniously dismiss Swaggins like that, to be perfectly honest with you, you can't say that you never did anything wrong. And just because you're looking at this one instance doesn't mean that there wasn't a track record that led up to this. I'm personally surprised if Swaggins leaves permanently, which I don't think he will, because he's invested too much, to be honest. And he never beat Brightside Viking, so his money literally went to waste. I mean, and there's other people that are coming in. Well, shit, he didn't beat Tut either. God damn. So, Swaggins looked like he was on pace to beat Brightside Viking, and he didn't do that. And then Tut came in and put him in the bitch status. Well, side bitch status. Phil put him actually into bitch status. Damn. Yeah, Swaggins' money and time really was wasted over there. Fuck. That's a shame. Well, I'm sure ST Peach would be happy to have him.
You know, this isn't anything that we ever talked about, so he's got to solve his own shit.
Or Alinity or Amaran. I'm sure one of them will take his money.
You know.
Sorry for fucking what? This is a situation where once again, I've done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever, and I'm getting punished like I did, you know? Because I've done nothing wrong, you know? I make mistakes, I'm a fallible human. But most of the things that happen to me, I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do wrong? Nothing. Zero. For something I didn't do wrong, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Bye, and you won't be missed. You know, we don't need influences like you in here. Bye.
Wet Farts! Wow, a guy named Wet Farts just tipped me $5.55 as congrats on beating Sekiro. Well, thank you, Wet Farts. I appreciate that so much. Let's go ahead and... Oh my god. Wow. Wet Farts. Thanks for the tip, and thank you for the congrats. But no thanks on the stench. What the fuck? Wet Farts. Cute pup in a sharp suit tipped me $1 and says, one day my dream is to become a drama news reporter. I have a tagline I'm working on called, I don't smell no bacon cooking. What do you think? Sounds good. You could be like every other worthless YouTuber who literally just reports fucking gossip and drama news and doesn't actually add anything of any kind of importance or commentary to anything at all. Just talk shit. Okay, sounds good.
One does what one can.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Aha, right before the pillow shows up. I didn't know that last part was in there, so that's dope. So thank you thank you to Snort Burnell for doing that. I very much appreciate it if you ever get a chance to hear this. And thanks, Phil, for the shout out. It means a lot. And bacon served. Well, kinda. Kinda. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more broadcast for you, brought to us by the great Snort Burnell. And I'll see you guys in literally just a second.
It's time to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
So,
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the last video of our broadcast. Yet again, brought to us by Snort Burnell. Dspgaming. Detractors ruined my polls. My polls! And pre-streams are therapeutic. Oh my. Ladies, you might want to break out the Roman candles for this. Here we go.
I didn't know what to do today, so I did this poll overnight on streampoll.tv, and the poll went like this. I think it was like maybe like 15% for Sekiro New Game Plus, and then it was like, I think I want to say like 40%, or 30% for Donkey Kong Country 3, and then the rest, which was like a resounding like 50%, was for World War Z. So it was like this all night long, okay? I wake up this morning, the poll is also the same, and I'm like, okay. So I post up on Twitter at like 9:30, well, it looks like we're playing World War Z today, you know, per the results of the poll, so I hope the game is good, and it ends up being fun like Left 4 Dead was. So I buy the game, I install the game, I get all ready for today's stream, and then I look at the poll last minute, and it says, oh, it's a tie. I'm like, now wait a minute. Now wait a fucking minute. I announce on Twitter that World War Z won the poll. I buy the game and I install it. All of a sudden, within like 30 minutes, hundreds of votes come in for Donkey Kong Country 3, bullshit.
Actually, you didn't tell us how close the polls were when World War Z won, or at least when you assumed that World War Z won. So we really don't actually know. So you could be skewing numbers for all we know at this point. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's what I said, called bullshit. Apparently, you know, whoever these parties are who mess with my polls to try to skew results or whatever, apparently saw my tweet about World War Z winning and said, oh, I want to fuck with Phil. So they ran to the poll and put in like over 100 fake votes to game the poll. There's no way there would have been over 100 votes in 30 minutes when I had already announced a winner. It's just horseshit. Okay? So sadly, what it looks like to me is that even this place, this streampoll.tv, even this is not immune from trolling when it comes to polling.
But how is it trolling, though, when people just want to have a complete end to the trilogy? We saw you fail on 2 Donkey Kong countries. You might as well play the third. You know what I'm saying? To finish the trilogy. It makes it only fair. World War Z isn't going anywhere. I mean, it's obvious that you're just wanting to play it because it's the hot new release. Or at least I would guess. So, I mean, what's the big deal?
It just seems like there is no good place to do a public poll at all. That it just seems like no matter where you do it, people can fuck with the poll. So, it really seems like the only place you can have a controlled environment is your own website. Like, for example, thekingofhate.com, I do a poll on the forums, right?
Oh, fucking A. Please tell me you're not doing this dumb shit. Phil, why? First off, you can have a poll on Twitter. That's the first thing. I think you know that. I'd like to think you know that. Secondly, you could hold a poll on Dspgaming, or KO Gaming, or King of Hate Vlogs. You can do a poll there, too. But you won't, because then you definitely can't control that nonsense. But why would anybody go to your shitty fucking exposed website? I don't even know why you keep paying for that damn thing. Let it go. It doesn't mean anything to anybody except for the few people who lurk around it. Outside of that, it has no value. It means nothing to you. It keeps hemorrhaging money. It's funny how you can get rid of all these different things, allegedly, to try to balance yourself out, but you won't let go of this website. Like it means a damn to anybody. Or is it, Phil? Or is it, Phil, that you heard that if you ever relinquish control of King of Hate forums, that a detractor, I won't name names because it's actually a couple of people, would actually pick it up and turn it around and actually turn it into a detractor-based website. Is that what you heard, Phil? Is that what you heard? You might have heard it. I don't know if that was actually on Kiwi Farms, though. Someone actually sent me a message saying that it'd be a funny idea and would I be interested. And yes, I would be. I would definitely put money down on that. Sure. I would love that idea. Absolutely. And host videos off it, too. Like all detractor videos. Like anybody who's a detractor, they should have I want all their videos posted up over there. On the regular. Like it's regularly updated as people post videos. Yes, I would love that. I would love that. In any case, if you're trying to hold out on that, Phil, I mean, you might not realize this, but we got nothing but time. Seriously. And most of us have more time than you, so it is what it is on that. But, sorry, back on track. Sending people to your dead, exposed website means nothing. It really doesn't. And if that's the case, you're only doing it because you know the few regulars who go over there would have full and total control of the polls. I.e., you would have full and total control of what those people would want you to. Because all of the real saps, if you will, aren't even there anymore. You know what I mean? There's still a few free thinkers over there. And most of them are already exposed anyway, so what do they have to lose? So, and they're going to vote their own way. I don't know, Phil. I feel like you're wasting your time with this shit. Let that website go. Seriously. Like, it's just not worth it. It's outdated. It's outdated as shit. And I don't know why you feel the need to have all these relics when you say that you're part of the modern era. Modern era. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, and update that kitchen too, by the way. Your kitchen definitely needs to be updated.
Can be a controlled environment because it requires you to register your account, and you're not going to have someone putting in 400 registered, bots in order to try to skew a poll over there. You see what I mean? It's too much work. Sadly, though, I know what would happen.
Also, didn't you expose a bunch of people on Patreon on Twitter? I know you did, because I actually have a screenshot of it. Oh, actually, I can't put that up there because I didn't actually retract any of their names. Okay, never mind. We're not going to do that. But, yeah, you went inside there and exposed a bunch of pay piggies on Twitter. Like, full names and everything. So, like, you're more dangerous than the website at this point. So why would anybody want to go over there? PSA from a cute pup in a sharp suit here at GTG Network Productions. Don't join his website. Don't do that shit. It's a stupid idea and whatnot. And either which way, he's gonna figure out a way to manipulate it to where he gets what he wants anyway. You're wasting your time and your money and your vote. So don't do it. Dspnews?
If I tried to do one of these polls on the
My bad. Buggy mechanics.
.com, you'd probably get like 30 people voting. That's it. As opposed to this poll I did overnight, supposedly I had over 400 people who voted. You see what I mean? So that's always the problem with trying to do polling in a controlled environment, is because you have to jump through hoops to do it, i.e. register for a forum or whatever. Way less people will do it. So for now, I'm happy with the result. We're gonna play World War Z today. We're gonna check it out. But
oh yeah, it's also funny how everything needs to be redacted when it comes to those polls when it doesn't go his way. It's also amazing how that happens too. I'm just throwing a little caveat out there.
But, you know, for more serious things, like for example, coming up, if we hit the subscriber goal for this month, I'm going to be doing what's called a Viewer's Choice event. And if you're not aware, the Viewer's Choice event is going to be where everyone is going to be able to nominate and vote on games as long as we hit the subscriber goal of 600 subs for this month, which, by the way, we're on an upward trend. Subs are going up every day, which is a good thing. So, if that's the case, I think I need to do that in a controlled environment. I just can't have people willy-nilly voting and skewing polls and shit. So, for that event, I'm probably going to require, if you want to nominate and then vote on the games for that Viewer's Choice special event, you're going to have to register for my forums, and you're going to have to, you're going to have to post up there. You see what I mean? Or vote there.
No, 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 no. Okay, well, maybe, no, and no.
But for these public polls, I think I'm just going to do them, I don't know, random. Maybe I'll just go back to Twitter. Because, like I said, this stream poll seemed to work. And then all of a sudden, last minute, over 100 votes coming out of fucking nowhere within 30 minutes, which is complete horseshit. So, obviously, it's nothing. No one is safe, as they say. No matter where you hold these public polls, people have found ways to fuck with them. So, it is what it is. Okay. So, anyway, getting back on topic. So, today, per your votes, we are going to be checking out World War Z. So I've heard that basically this game is okay if you play it with AI, but that the AI can basically be pretty stupid and not do certain objectives that you need to progress in each stage. So really, ideally, what you need to do is team up with humans. Of course, you guys know whenever I team up with humans, people troll them. And what's
team up with humans? You mean team up with people? Like, why is everybody kind of just a faceless individual to you? Which is why he would use the term human. Just why wouldn't you just say, hey, you shouldn't team, I'm not going to team up with the computer, so I'm just going to find some people to team up with. Like, I mean, I don't know, it's a little thing and it might not mean anything, but it also, to be honest, it just shows that as a sociopath, he can't look at people as individuals. They're all grouped up together until they prove to have some type of self-worth to them, which is kind of scary when you think about it. It's kind of scary.
end up happening is more than likely people will message the randoms who I'm teaming with and say,
You're afraid that's Darkside Failure playing with, and he's a scammer, and he's a pedo, and he's a masturbator, and he's this and that. Phil, the infamous multi-time masturbator. That's right, he has masturbated a ridiculous amount of times, at least 3 on stream, and he's done it in front of thousands of children, and, he's a horrible human being. Wow, Phil. You really have a bad rep because of these nasty things you've done on the internet.
and then they get all these pop-ups because, the common player is not a streamer. The common player is not like me, so they probably got all their pop-up messages on and everything, and all of a sudden they're going to get random messages from fucking assholes spamming them, saying that you're playing with Darkside Fail, blah, 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 and it basically just makes it a bad time because then they might get on the mic and talk about it, and it just derails everything.
Sounds to me like someone who's watched a lot of Wings streams or Detractor videos, because Wings goes through that on the daily. Actually, isn't Wings talking about giving up playing playing Siege? Like, he's talking about not playing Siege anymore because the haters over there have just gotten to him. That sucks, because I think that's the only game he really loves to play. And he's talking about now giving it up because he can't get into matches because the haters and trolls and detractors keep fucking with him. Wow, that sucks.
I'll be honest, all I can really taste is salt.
So, it's basically kind of a trade-off. I could try playing this game with AI and see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go. It could be pretty shitty. I could play it with randoms, but if I do that, I have to mute the mic. I just have to, because you know that's going to happen. So there you go. Like that.
Then why would you play? Like, why did you even? Then why not play Donkey Kong Country 3? You're not going to play with AI because they're going to basically let you die, and you don't want to play with other people because you're scared of them, basically. So then there's no point in playing World War Z by yourself, or playing World War Z then, or at least not right now. Do that shit on Sunday with Brian and Kekken. Fucking hey, man. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you're someone who plays video games for a living, in public, and you can't play games because you're scared of other people. To death of other people. Holy shit.
The two options, either playing with the mic muted or doing just with AI. And you know what? I remember when I played Left 4 Dead back in the day, it was kind of the same thing. Not that people would troll the way that they do today, but you'd get a lot of annoying people randomly on the mic. We'll see how it goes and go from there.
And why are we still living in the past, Phil? Just saying, you're the one who's like, you can't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about looking forward and not looking back. And you keep reminiscing on this silly shit. Like, what game was he playing recently? Or he's still playing it, maybe. Where he said that, there's a game, sorry. I think it might be a game that's actually coming up. Is it like Phoenix Wright or some shit like that? And he hasn't played that game in years. But you're going to play that game because you got good views on it, what, 5 or 6 years ago? That was 5 or 6 years ago. Most of those people are gone now. The same reason why he couldn't get a lot of attendance on Persona. You kind of already exiled that group of people who came for those type of games. That and you're always bitching about your throat and everything. I don't know. There's poor decisions being made left and right.
Two folk completely ignoring what I just said. He says, I wouldn't worry about it. Not everyone is a troll. I didn't say that they're trolls. I'm saying if you're just a random person, you don't know anything about Darkside Phil, you never heard of him, right? You never heard of this guy. And you're playing World War Z random with a random team, and you're playing the game with some people, and all of a sudden, you get blown up. Your inbox starts getting pegged with inbox messages.
Do you know there's like a guy in our group right now who's like streaming this whole thing? He's sort of like semi-famous.
Oh, yeah, I think that's Darkside Phil. He was the guy that got caught for masturbating in front of children. Yeah, that's so he was caught masturbating. I think he's like 35 years old.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was masturbating in front of children.
That's
on
right.
YouTube live stream. Hilarious. He's like he's a pervert or something. I think he's a
That's right, I'm a huge pervert, guys.
Did his mom see this? Just for clarification's sake, did Mommy Burnell get a chance to see this? Did she hear about this situation?
That's all I do. I just masturbate constantly in front of children. You're absolutely right. That's what I'm known for.
You got exposed for doing that.
I got completely exposed. Absolutely.
Yeah, you did. You didn't even know the camera was on.
You know every inch of my dick and balls.
Right?
You know every inch of my dick and balls.
It's the guy watching his Twitch. Is that really him? Is he the one that got caught, Matt?
Yes!
Really? He was the guy that got caught masturbating in front of children. I think he's like 30. He's like in his 30s or something. He's in his 30s and he did that in front of children.
That's right. Yes.
But
I've seen so much.
I'm a fan. What? I don't know what to say.
Of course, and I did it on purpose. That's why I'm still on Twitch and I'm still on YouTube and not banned, right?
Yeah, so you didn't get banned, you didn't get fired from any MCNs or anything, right?
No.
You didn't get fired from the cinema? No? No?
No, I didn't.
No? Oh, you didn't,
no.
You didn't get released? And what about Laveria? Laveria,
oh
what
my
did they do?
god.
They dropped you.
No, they
dropped
didn't.
you when they found out that video. And I really feel bad for Leanna because she seriously has mentally ill problems. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her because Leanna is innocent.
Now here's the funny part, and I never really noticed it, or maybe I did and I just didn't care. But I never really noticed it up till this moment that he sat there and took all of those shots, took all of that shit that was coming at him, right, trying to act like it didn't hurt. But when Panda came up, he was quick to try to cut that shit off. So you've been trying to erase this chick from history for a hot-ass minute. Like, and he's been like this for a while. Because even when he was dating Panda, if she got any type of criticism, he would be quick to jump all over it. But he's been trying to censor this chick, fucking A, man, for a long ass time. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
One.
Here we go.
You're playing with Darkside Phil. He's a nasty person. He's this, he's that. All the bullshit slander that people always say about me. You're gonna obviously bring it up, right? You're like, wow, my inbox just got fucking destroyed by a bunch of people saying stupid shit about someone I'm playing with. What is this nonsense? And then you might start reading it. And that's exactly what's happened in other games that I've played. And it completely derails everything. So it's not that people are trolls, it's that the trolls harass the people. And then the people react appropriately, and that's what happens. Okay? So it has nothing to do with, oh, not everyone's a troll. That's just a stupid statement. I didn't say that the people would be trolls, that they're going to get harassed. So the best way to go about it is just to leave it muted. So if this does happen, there's zero impact on the game, because I'm not going to hear any reaction because it's muted. You see what I mean? Okay, I mean, I was $40. And so, you know, $40 for a game like this, I hope that it has some kind of longevity. At least it wasn't a full 60, but at the same time, dropping $40 on a game that I may only play once or twice is kind of it's demanding. Especially with, you know, the way things are going with me behind the scenes financially and everything. I don't have a lot of, you know...
And yet again, you're an idiot. You're playing this game because of of new game hype, instead of just playing Donkey Kong and just, you know what I'm saying, and failing miserably. At least it completes the trilogy and shit. Jesus Christ.
So, I basically got to do my best to, you know, get something out of this game. I hope it's good. I hope you guys like watching it. I hope I enjoy playing it. And I hope maybe this is something I play at least another 1 to 2 times. So at least we get something out of it. Alright, we start off today with Drunk Mike Tyson, who basically said 2 really stupid things in his cheers. The first is, what are your thoughts on the furry community? I have no thoughts on it. I don't care. And Drunk Mike Tyson also said, congrats on getting married. Should we expect a baby on the way marathon? No, because number 1, we're not having kids, and number 2, I wouldn't run a marathon for it. But thanks for being stupid.
Are they toxic materials?
Why are you so mad about either one of those questions? Jesus Christ. Isn't Kekken a furry? Now I think about it? Oh well. But anyway, and then as for the baby thing, I mean, it's funny, but it shouldn't be anything different. Why are you so offended when people ask you about having kids? I mean, are you sterile or some shit? Is that the reason? Or has mom not pressured you into position yet? Has Mommy Burnell not pressured you into position just yet to have kids? Or is it that you don't make enough money and you need Cat's income and that's why you can't afford to have a child right now? Because you can't, because obviously Phil's not going to take care of that kid. We all know this. If, you know, shit. And one of Phil's drunken binges, he might accidentally put the kid in the oven or something. So we know that's not going to happen. First off and foremost. Second off, we know you don't make enough money to where you're dependent now on Cat's income similar to Panda. So that's definitely, wow. Why don't you just send the kid to your mom? Let your mom raise the child for a little while. Just saying. Do people actually do that? I'm sure they do. Huh. Whatever. whatever it takes to shark off that responsibility, right, Phil?
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
Shout out to Real Talk Mod Me, who cheers says you can play World War Z by yourself with the AI. The AI is actually pretty good, but they have flaws when it comes to doing objectives or helping teammates when swarm. I recommend playing with at least 1 human control player. Also, the game has multiple classes and characters that change depending on the map. But it's definitely a zombie game of the Left 4 Dead genre. The game is definitely worth $40. Well, thank you for that little summary. Very much, Real Talk Mod Me. Appreciate that. And the landscapers just turned on all their equipment, so I'm going to go close my window. Hold on. That's very loud.
Here's my thing. He knows when he doesn't leave home really. So he's home all day. You know when the landscapers are going to show up, so why don't you just close the window from the beginning? Just saying.
I swear to God, I swear the landscapers know my schedule and purposely show up when I start. Because if you guys have been here, you know, over the years since I've lived here in Washington, it seems like no matter what, when I start streaming is when the landscapers start. Because I used to stream much later. If you guys remember, I used to stream at noon or later. Is when I used to start my streams. And then, you know, in the past couple of years, I rolled the clock back and I now stream way earlier and way more in one day. But how hilarious is it? It used to be, you know, I would start streaming at noon and then they would turn their shit on. And now I
like how this is their fault, even though he knows what days the landscapers show up. Oh, shit. Wow. Just literally complaining just to complain. It's great. DSP News.
10, and now they turn their shit on now.
Well, sadly,
hey Phil, maybe you should tell them to come that they should come and do your lawn a little sooner, and you'll give them a shout out, just like the guys who put your bed together, and the movers. Maybe you should do that. That might help. Hey, anything that can help the business, right, Phil?
A couple trolls here, so I'm just going to ban. There's a nice lean-in manual ban. Take care of the idiots, so that way they don't derail the stream chat. All right, they're out of here. Almighty Piggy, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the sub.
Lawlerman is just curious. Do you believe pre-streams are therapeutic in nature? You get to speak to your viewership, share what's going on with you, and get to unwind. Was always curious. Yeah, it's a great way to start the day. Here's why. Because if I didn't do a pre-stream, I just jumped right into gameplay. What if I got something to talk about? What if there's something on my mind? What if there's a hot topic that happened overnight? It could be gaming news or whatever that I'm not aware of, right? And it's really these pre-streams that allow me to get that out. I can tell you about all the news and the schedule and everything. You guys tell me about stuff that's going on. That's why I really like doing these pre-streams. And as I've said, you know, maybe that's why, quite frankly, Ask the King may end up kind of going the way of the dinosaur. Because I basically do a Q&A show every morning, whenever I start up, right? So there's really, you know, is there really a point to doing a full-on Q&A show every 2 months when I do Q&A every morning and most of your questions get answered right away, right? I love it.
That's really sad. God damn, dude, that's depressing as fuck.
And that's another thing. Like some people say, what happened to your podcast, Hate Live? What's the point of Hate Live? I don't need to do it because I talk with you guys every day. When I changed over to a full-on interactive streamer in 2017, I knew there were going to be big adjustments, and one of the biggest adjustments is having this interactivity with you guys every morning. So, naturally, by doing this, it's going to make other things extinct. Because it used to just be gameplay videos that are just the gameplay, and that's it. It wasn't interactivity. There was none of this. Now you're getting this every day, so what's the point of having the shows dedicated for it? You see what I mean? Let's check out World War Z. I think at first what I'll try to do is team up with randoms, see how that goes, and then after that, maybe team up with AI if I need to, but maybe just teaming up with randoms will work. Sadly, I do need to have the voice chat muted, which sucks, but that's just life. You can't have people being bombarded with messages and start talking about it. You know, the trolls want to get their way, and I'm not going to allow that to happen, okay? So...
That's basically how to be an asshole 101. That's what it is. Listen, child, learn how to be an irresponsible asshole who annoys people and gets into trouble constantly. And I wouldn't want a kid to watch that. I'd want them to learn morality and responsibility and not watch that shit and make these people virally popular and rich and fucking famous. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Oh boy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So, looks like we're gonna lose Axe the King, which, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think he'll ever really fully get rid of it, to be honest with you, because you'll never get a drawn-out answer unless you do it. If it goes, it goes. It doesn't make him any money, or at least in his eyes it doesn't, so of course he's going to drop it. So, I mean, I guess that was just going to happen. Let's see here. As for the polls, that's just paranoia on his part. You know, it sounds like World War Z is going to be a flop for him anyway, so he's better off just playing Donkey Kong. And as it pertains to Mommy and Swaggins, rip on Swaggins, and he's probably not telling his mother the whole truth anyway. Why would any of us expect him to do so? And that's that. Like I said, she's going to be carrying him, kicking and screaming for the rest of his fucking life. And as long as she's okay with it, who are any of us to say anything about it? Because at the end of the day, it's her problem. But that's her baby boy, right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for for sitting in on all of that. And you know, that's kind of it. Like, you know, to be honest with you, like I said, I am a little bit behind probably, so hopefully I'll be drumming these out a little bit more frequently over the next couple days to catch up, depending on when this comes out and depends on when my last video popped up and whatnot. Try to get all that going and whatnot, juggling life as it is, as I'm sure all of you guys know, and that shit gets difficult. But thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you guys for the next broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network Productions. I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off for the Snort Report. Take care of yourselves. End the broadcast.
You've got different things that we need to buy. In fact, this is wrong. We didn't even update this. We need to update this because this is all wrong. We bought most of this stuff except napkins, right? We need napkins. We don't need the rest of the stuff. So that could be updated there. It's funny because I have gin on here. I almost never drink anymore. As you know, I've had some health problems where I need to cut down on my alcohol intake and red meat and that stuff. So this is the first time we bought liquor in like 2 months, which is kind of silly.